Welcome to Patito's Gang. I'm Menna Jimie. How much are we as citizens truly participating in our democracy? Well, today the gang analyzes this. Let's stay tuned.
2019 is around the corner, and I don't know how many of you out there have first of all registered to vote. How many of you are willing to participate through yourself to the ring to salvage Nigeria? That's what our topic today is all about. Democracy between participation and representation. It's all about that. So, are you willing? How prepared are you? Even if you're not thinking about 2019, what about 2023? It's important that we get the right people to participate and also to represent, in this democratic process. How do we get our people, encourage people to participate? Are you throwing yourself into the ring to participate or to represent?
I dare say both. And let me go a bit intellectual. Natalia Murphy made this quotation which I resonate with virtually all the things I do, and that is leadership. Everything rises, falls on leadership. Right. But he said something, that leadership basically is in doing the right things. Even when the naysayers and the mediocres feel that you are playing to the gallery, do the right thing, be consistent with it, preach it, live it, exemplify it. Before you know what is happening, you have a motley of following who will follow your ideology and who will want to replicate your type of life. I am a convinced student of the fact that participation in politics is not necessarily going for elective offices, or that you are a technocrat just coming out from the green field and then the next that you are looking at is to be the governor or you want to be the president of the Federal Republic. What have you done? What have you seen to be done, even in your private, personal, professional calling, that has been put to test? How many people have you led? How have you been able to demonstrate the fact that you are a consensus builder, you are an ideas developer, and that you are a deliverer, somebody who is transparent and who lives his or her life at such a magnitude that people can look at it like a mirror and say, this is the type of person that I want to follow. So I think from the local government, from the world participation, even from your locality where you live, okay, the associations, the CDAs, what have you done and how have you led people?
Democracy, another word for democracy could be participation, because participation is the ingredient of democracy. Participation is what citizens do for themselves.
That's right.
Participation is what citizens do. It is through participation you select representatives. And it is, in fact, participation, it must be seen as a civic responsibility for every citizen. That means you must be involved. You must know what is going on. You must key in from somewhere. You can participate as a voter. You can participate as a local mobilizer. You can participate as even someone who wants to contest election.
Yeah.
So there are different strata, there are different levels of participation. In fact, if a citizen in a democracy is not participating in a democracy, that citizen is not a responsible citizen.
Yeah, and somebody said that the biggest illiterate, or the worst illiterate on earth, is the person that is politically ignorant.
Yes. Yeah, taking it up from where Akin and
Yes.
Adrian left off. It's often said that evil can only thrive when good people do nothing. When we refuse, politics is a dirty game, it is for professional politicians and things. At the end of the day, mark you that people will always get the government that they deserve. Whether you participate or you parties go, you will get the government that you deserve. It's often said, our vote doesn't mean anything. They've already selected. Please come do your civic duty.
That's right.
Do the one that is incumbent on you. And after you have done that, leave the rest to the people. And don't just vote and go home. Vote in your locality, in your polling booth, in your county, and stand there. That is part of the participation we're talking about. Stand there and make sure that the votes are counted and duly entered into the returning sheets, and the party reps all take away their copies. If we do this in all the wards, in all the polling units in this country, we will get our leader. They did it in Zimbabwe. They did the palace coup that produced Morgan Shangarai, but the man was so interested in his personal endeavor that he did not want to stand up for what is right. I mean, Shangarai could have left the country and be sworn in as president offshore and let the international community now muzzle this man to his knees. What did it take for the military and the people to say, enough of you, Mugabe?
Because the issue of representation, again, you see, as I said, you elect people, you appoint people, you select them by whatever means it is to go and represent what? What are they representing? The interests of the citizens, the interests of the public. So they are going there to represent their welfare, their future, their destiny, their health, their education, represent these interests. So if the citizens do not participate to be part of those who are selecting those who are going to represent, if they don't do it, whoever goes there eventually will just simply go there and represent his own interests, because you did not select him. You are not part of the process. And as I said, to be part of you can participate in raising funds for somebody who wants to contest an election. You love this guy. You know that this person has a character. You can participate. Yes, you can participate by being a local mobilizer of funds. Participate by being a mobilizer in terms of political education, telling people why they should vote. These are different levels of stratas of participation in a democracy. Unfortunately, in this environment, people think participation is when you be a member of a political party. So you ask somebody, are you a politician? Say he's no. Everybody is a politician. But right. Not every person is a partisan politician.
Also participation is also in ensuring that you, like you said, Modi, you've done the right thing, and encourage people around you, your wards, your children, your neighbors, to also get themselves involved. Now you have your PVC, as we say. You know the election timetable, as we all say. What about that market woman that you pass by and you buy your wares from? Have you asked her? Madam, are you not? And she says to you, well, I don't understand. Then educate at that level. Your places of worship, your community development associations, your peers, your schools association. You ensure, I am getting a feel now that people are subtly making the point that, well, before I can do certain things for you, have you done your civic responsibility? Are you out there? You don't understand what that means, and then you educate.
There's a huge awareness right now that I read about a pastor, that told the congregation that you must bring your PVC to church. Otherwise, don't come to church. Is that good?
Well, is that question?
No. Is that good?
I think you should come with some element of situation.
There's some good in it, but the question is, has the system allowed the people to get their PVC? Does the system provide opportunity for people to get a CVC?
Valid
That's the
points.
issue.
No, because that's another thing. Because somebody told me that for some places you cannot get your PVC.
That's it.
I came from. I was in Abuja and I picked up a taxi, airport taxi, and we were talking about this, and he said, "Look, that they told him because it's not. They will try. Is your name this? For the sound of your name, if you're not from, from the West, a particular this thing, they'll say, okay." Your PVC is missing. You have to wait for instance. And if your name sounds
these are intrigues of disenfranchisement of people.
Not only intrigues and to frustrate.
Yes.
And I am going to ask our citizens to please keep at it, irrespective of what you face.
Okay, just hold your thought there. Hold your thought. We'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll come straight to you, to continue with that conversation.
According to the gang, most people aren't actively involved because of the negativity that's kind of surrounding politics, and people like to avoid that. Do you disagree or do you agree? Let's take it to the streets and hear from you.
When the government is saying that way, it will be reduced. We don't want people that are just striving to get there.
Awareness should be created. Before time, all these parties in their various offices, they have offices in various places. They should create awareness. First of all, go to media stations, tell people that on so and so day, you have to meet this person that is participating. Bring all of them to that place so that they will also talk to people, so that they will now know that this and this and this and this, not when the election is very close and they start sharing money. No. Let them come out and tell them, this is who I am, so that at least people can do background check before the election, before they vote for them. Thank you.
Within your locality, where you are living, you must be involved in anything, even the developmental community development project. Be involved. Sometimes people say, I don't have money, I don't want to. No. Sometimes your voice goes a long way. It goes a long way. You may be in a meeting. Financially, you are handicapped, but sometimes you have the wisdom there. Your contribution solves a lot of problems. So the same thing happens to the politics. So when you are in a political environment, get involved. Don't just stay down at home, be complaining.
The major thing is we know the person background and we know what he is and what he's supposed to do for us. Like me as a person, if I don't know you, and if I know you, let's say I know you and know the kind of person you are, I cannot vote for you. Because if I know you are a biased person, I will not vote. Because a person that cannot stand for us in terms of developing our community, I will not vote. But they say vote, we have to vote, that is our priority. Yes, it's our priority. But though the people we vote for to help us as an individual, they don't care. Once they get there, we give them like that to climb. By the time they get there, they push us aside and feel they have the up power to be there. It's not so. But we ought to know who we are voting for, not voting before you know the person.
We were talking before we went on break. We were talking about the need for the citizens to participate and also to represent the different communities in our democracy. And Akin, you were making a point.
I'm making a point that irrespective of the frustrations, and please, let's face it, that you are not going to meet frustrations, that you are not going to meet people that are going to discourage you, forget about the
system.
Let's keep at it. There is no pain without pain. And the more we keep to this rigidity, it need not necessarily be at my own lifetime. I have children and I want to have grandchildren that will look at me.
What have you done? This country.
What did you do?
Father did this.
Your time, yeah.
And that was my sacrifice. Beyond all that, I think, seriously speaking, as serious polity, we need to reform our electoral system. The money politics to go and get a form, these other aspects about Baba Sokwe, and then you get somebody to have to anoint you, or like I hear in a part of the middle belt, people says whether this man is a thief or is not a thief, we worship his father. We are going to worship him too. If he brings a dog along, he is the one that we are going to. We have to begin to change all that kind of mindset.
Politics is what people do for themselves, not what people do for you. You see, you have to do politics by yourself. If you don't do politics by yourself and wait for somebody else to do for you, you never get it. And what politics is about relationship. We relate with each other. People belong to community associations, neighborhood associations. When you're engaged in them, they say they are not involved. Every relationship, is a political meeting. Yeah. They may not call themselves political association, but anytime you're relating with people, you're making decisions that are not just about yourself but affecting other people. You're making a political decision, and you're in a political relationship. But because this thing has not been, the narrative has always been as per what some people call politicians are doing. Citizens don't know that what they're doing on a daily basis is politics.
Yeah. Oh yes. I came up with a redefinition of governance, which by the way is an extension of politics. Governance is an extension of God's hand to the people.
Wow.
And unless we work assiduously to make sure that the hand of God is appropriately represented, we will get charlatans in our places.
And what does God want? God wants good health for the people.
Good health.
He wants them to enjoy good life.
Therefore, all the good things of
therefore,
life.
Those who are going to represent
righteousness,
them,
peace,
yes, those
joy.
who are going to represent them must be sure that they are working in tandem to make sure that they are representing the people's welfare, representing their security.
There's something that God wants. Yeah. It's not about me alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about you and others.
Yes.
So if I belong to a particular faith, whatever it is that is happening to the members of the other faith becomes something that's happening to me.
Right. That's what leadership is
all about.
about.
And if I am able to afford 3 square meals, I must not assume that every other person has eaten. Yeah. What is it that I am doing to encourage those who are indigent to rise above their poverty level? So I like your definition, and that is the real definition of service.
I'll get an honorarium for that.
Politics is not what we do for you. It's what you do by yourself. And until citizens rise and begin to do politics for themselves, what I mean for themselves is that they are participating, they are involved. They are not looking at somebody sitting somewhere and say, this is a politician. Every citizen is supposed to be a politician. But every citizen may not be a partisan politician. So being a politician means that you are involved. You want to know what's happening in the society so you can contribute. So you're participating in one level or the other. So if you just sit down and say, I'm not a politician, then you're deceiving yourself. Because what happens in politics will affect you. Your health, your destiny, your welfare, your security, your education is involved. So you must know this because they're affecting you. So you can't say, I'm not a politician.
And they have to tell you if you don't participate.
Yes.
In choosing the right candidate.
Yes.
They have to tell you
this is
the kind of food you have to eat, when to wake up in the morning.
That's right.
Where to live.
They make decisions for you.
They make decisions for you.
So you need to be involved. Every citizen must be involved. Not necessarily as a member of the
partisan level.
or going there because you want to contest election. Yes. But going there so you can contribute ideas, contribute resources to support those who want to contest election. Mobilize money for them. Go there and educate people. Say, look, be there, make sure you vote, and when voting is going on, make sure you don't kill anybody. So these are different ways people participate at different
There's an element that is worth saying. In everything in life about competition, you either win or lose. I also think participation and involvement, representation is how you handle failures. That you fail in an election today does not necessarily make you a failure in life.
You only learn something.
And you can always learn from that. And people can learn from that angle. And I think that is the reason why we have the do or die. I must not be seen to fail. And then you take all the monies that you have and say you want to go and invest.
Okay, that's why I said, I never allowed you to say that, oh, you contested and failed election. I don't fail it. I can't fail election. It's not possible.
There's something to learn from it.
Yeah, because they just deferred my swearing in. That's what I keep saying. That's the attitude.
I like that.
Yes.
I
You
like
defer
that.
my swearing in. Next time I say, okay, they deferred my swearing in to 2019 and all that.
After all,
And there are experiences.
Abraham Lincoln tried and he was one of the
Yes.
best presidents.
The current president tried and tried until he's here.
Yeah.
So keep trying.
So we should not take it as do or die affair. But again, you know, sometimes you talk to a professional and say, oh, this person, maybe a professional is interested in running. It's, oh, forget it, he's wasting his time. And you see an illiterate.
Yes,
and you say that that illiterate will do better.
Because professionals are too idealistic.
Yes.
They think that democracy or political
No,
platform
not even
is,
that. Why discourage that professional?
Laid out in
Yeah, in
it's
going.
not political
That is
platform.
obvious wrong attitude.
Yeah.
It's a wrong attitude.
It is something that we must dissuade, and the political space is open from the youths to a 92-year-old, irrespective. If you have
Even
something,
beyond.
if you have something that
offer.
you
Why
have
not?
to offer, come out,
Throw your hat in.
and then let's debate it rigorously, and the better person at the end of the day will win.
The more we participate, the more we shape the system, the more we clean it up, the more it becomes better for us. But the more we stay out and say it's not my business, then those who think it's their business will go to the center, and then that's it.
Please, just before we continue, Austin, I want to speak for a large group of voiceless people when it comes to participation. Our bankers, our 9-to-5ers, our oil service workers, and so on and so forth. These people want to participate. I know they are watching me now, but they cannot take time off to go and queue up endlessly. In the
They have
government.
money. Let them support those who are contesting.
No.
There are different ways to
If they don't
participate.
vote, we will have charlatans.
So they don't go to work.
See,
that
They-
day.
on
Nobody goes to
Saturday,
work.
What we're appealing to INEC from here, from this platform, is that they should make available Saturdays and Sundays for these people to go register.
Okay.
Over 90% of them are not
No,
registered.
because that's important.
Very
Yeah,
valid.
but why not take this thing to offices? We can take these voters to offices and register people.
we
Take them to
decentralize the
churches,
system.
Because
take them to mosques.
The registrants,
So that
the
if we think that-
INEC is too analog in their thinking. INEC should get out of this analog system of registration. What I mean by analog is that they should decentralize their registration process. Look at the telecommunication companies. You buy a SIM card, there's a small kiosk where you buy that SIM card and you register. It's the same thing. There are some people like my brother mentioned who are oil workers, bank workers that work from morning to leave. They don't have time to go and register. Why don't you make it possible for you to open up registration center even on Sundays and weekends?
Even in their-
inside
even
their
in their
offices,
offices.
so that
And online registration
yeah, so you can
as well.
capture these people.
So
Even
it's
the
a,
online-
it's a continuous
So,
thing.
you-
it should not
you-
be a stop,
I keep
start,
asking.
Yes.
stop.
I keep asking.
And then I like his point, please. Very, very important that we need to state this. Those people, including diaspora voting,
Including diaspora voting.
including diaspora voting, so that we can have all inclusiveness.
Nigerian system refuses to advance with technology. Look at what happened in Kaduna State, where they have tried to experiment with electronic voting. Did it not work? My friend who went to vote in his village, I live in Abuja, he went to vote in his village, and he came and told me that the thing was good. As he pressed, he saw the political party he wanted to vote for. As he pressed, he saw his name, he saw his identity. So why is because we are afraid of technology? That's why we don't want to make
even
things.
afraid of-
And because
afraid of
not only
technology.
afraid, because we are
We have a
scared.
premeditated
Yes, you're
mindset
afraid of losing.
that wants to manipulate the system.
We don't want something that is transparent. These
That's
things
right.
are transparent.
Electoral
So, yes.
transformation is the name of the game. All inclusiveness should be
on the
encouraged,
table.
and better and creative ideas should come to the table for discourse.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. And the point is made. Well, we have to encourage innovation in the election process. We need to participate as citizens. It's our civic right to participate. No one is saying that you must contest election. No, you must at least show interest, know what is going on in your community. You must encourage people, voter education, in your own small circle of influence. encourage people, tell them the reason and importance of participating in an election process. Because I keep saying that we cannot afford to leave the process in the hands of people who have no business doing that. Otherwise, we have seen what is going on, and the process will continue to be faulty, and we need to get it right this time.
So today the gang urges Nigerians, get involved. Let's participate in different parts of our government. Let's become active members of our society. Well, that's all that we have time for today on Patito's Gang. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found today's episode to be informative and enlightening. Join the conversation. Follow us on all our social media pages displayed right there on your screen. I am Nenna Jemie. And until next time, take care and be well.